Devlog number 16. So last time I showed the very beginnings of a whole new UI I'm doing for this game. And this is just going to be a short little progress update to show what's happened since then. I'm having a little bit of trouble getting this done. It's a lot slower going than I'd like. This is tricky stuff. But here's what it looks like right now. So I have a lot more of that vector drawing. The draft I did in Inkscape actually drawing in here now. So it's a lot more colorful. Let's see that again. So yeah, things slide in from below and this slides in from above. I fixed the kerning here so it looks a lot better. And I redrew my button graphics. I'm not 100% convinced on these. They have rollover states now, so you can see where your mouse is if you're using a mouse. This still points just as it always did. And if I go to new game now, this goes to what will become my new map screen. There's not much on it yet. 3 buttons, only one of them actually works. But that screen's mostly just there because, okay, so I have the old map screen wired up to this, and I can't actually get back to where that was from here. Everything's all bright and cheery now. And this is revealing sort of like, whoa. Oh yeah, this progressive darkening as I drill down into something like this. Oh man, that gets real dark. This is like illegible at this point. Okay, so lots to tweak. The stuff with the black text does fine. Yeah, that's still perfectly legible. These white texts shouldn't be here. They shouldn't be white like this on the super light blue background. This is revealing that like a lot of the stuff I had at, this is at, I don't know, like 25% alpha or something. It's way too transparent. It should have actually just a more solid color behind it. So yeah, things looked weird with the black background, and they look weird with the bright landscape background too. So all this is going to have to end up getting tweaked. Yeah, just like finding my footing here, figuring out what I really want this to look like. So yeah, redrawn buttons. I'm decently happy with these. I don't feel like messing with them too much more. What's going on in here? The text is pretty good. I might change it a little bit and like change the color gradation a bit. Maybe I'm not entirely happy with the way the anti-aliasing that SVGs export with, but I guess it's okay. Anti-aliasing, yeah, let's talk about that. So these mountains. So over in Inkscape, if I go over here, if I look at my sketch, let's see the differences. Did I double click that properly? It's hard to tell. Yes, I did. Okay. Sure. Why do you ask me this every time? You don't need to. Oh, right. Okay, so this is showing, I have a few more layers in here now. Oh boy, Inkscape, you're not laid out the way I want you to be. I want you here like that. And also you. There we go. That's the way that I like it. Okay. So I have a few different sky colors here. There are stars back here. This is, you know, just a simple little star pattern that I'm going to change for something else probably. So the idea would be it would start up and look kind of like this. I do have alpha transparency on this, the very top of that, which goes away when I go here and it fades in. So that's full opacity. So stars would not be visible at this time of day, but back then they would be there. There's just nothing behind there right now. The mountains. So the contour of the mountain here is actually exactly what it is in Inkscape. I imported the vertices and just sort of listed them out in a source file. Sure, let's look at menu background scene view.c. So yeah, this is the file that draws all of the stuff back here with the animations and everything. So it's responsible for, let's see, what do I want to look at here? Work in progress, some temporary stuff here. That's where the text comes in, so you know. Draw background. Where's the function I want? Get vertices. Okay, so draw background, then draw splash title. Draw background. So draw splash title does all the handling of the text with its associated animations and stuff. So yeah, it animates out there, animates back in there. Ooh. Huh. Those are more different than I thought they were. they fall in more one at a time when they come in, but they go out almost together. I should change that a little bit. It's mostly okay. Surprisingly enough, linear interpolation on the letter movement looked best. I tried different interpolation types, and linear was the one that seemed to work. I have a curved interpolation for the UI sliding in and out on the bottom. I'll have to do some different things for like elements on the top. Like if I had stuff like this coming in, they'd slide in from the top instead of the bottom. Probably, again, still lots to figure out. I'm just kind of following my nose here. Like I have plans for how the UI flows, but how it looks is just, I'm making it up as I go along. Anyway, right, so the vertices of the mountain. This gave me kind of some problems and I want to talk about it. So yeah, this contour here is listed out. All of this is temporary, by the way, all subject to change. The stars will look like something better. I had clouds in here at one point. I hate these. These are awful. These are just a bunch of circles merged together. They look... I mean, you can tell that they're supposed to be clouds, but that's all I can say about them. They're just terrible. To try to figure out how to make them less terrible, I ended up doing some little more extensive research than I expected on cloud types, like what you see in the sky, what their names are, how to tell them apart. So I might do something a little fancier with that. I think it'd be interesting to have, in addition to time of day changing between the screens, like you can see here, I have this just lightening and darkening. Maybe different cloud types drifting in and out. They'll probably like scroll across slowly in the background, and might use that for some mood setting. Like different types of clouds kind of convey a different mood for, I don't know. We'll see about it. But yeah, something that they will look nothing like these because I hate these. Anyway, some kind of detailing or different color gradation or something will go in the mountains, and landscape will not just be a green rectangle. I just haven't figured out what I'm doing with that yet. But, one step at a time. So anyway, right. So when I put these into here, so draw background, looks at the state of my animations and determines exactly how to draw things for that frame and stuff. So draw sky gradient, mountains, and ground. So draw mountains is the one I want to look at here. Sure, a bunch of shifting vertices around and stuff. So here's the listing of the actual positions. X, bottom, and top, right. So at X equals 0, the Y coordinate is this. And wait, I have a bottom and a top? All the bottoms will be the same, won't they? Yes, 74. Okay, well that's of no real consequence. Anyway, so if I just put this in and draw them in the color you see here, whatever you want to call that color, I'd get jaggedy edges, They wouldn't have any anti-aliasing on them. Anti-aliasing in OpenGL is interesting. There are a bunch of different ways to go about it. The particular type that I chose here was texture anti-aliasing. So what's actually happening here... Oh, I shouldn't have done that. That makes everything go black for a moment. I kind of just wanted to zoom in. Okay, let's do it this way. Come back. Screenshots. So I have my hotkey that will... Oh, why are you... Okay, you're Inkscape. You're visible because of that. Screenshot. I have a hotkey that dumps out a screenshot at... native to this game resolution, so 640 by 360. I'm looking for open width. I found it. So anyway, these are being drawn anti-aliased. Oh yeah, you take a moment to start up. There is... Am I able to show this in the source file? No, this is extremely unreadable. Okay, I'll just explain what it does. Well, okay, it's only that much code, but you can't read any of it. I can't read any of it, and I'm the one who wrote it. Anyway, so at native resolution, so if I zoom in here and look at exactly how those are anti-aliased, it looks pretty good. One thing I don't entirely like about it is it sort of bleeds both inward and outward in the same place. I might tweak that a little bit further, but probably it's, it's good enough. That only happens on steeper slopes. especially like this steep slope over here. You can see especially like both the inward and the outward bleed. So anyway, what's really happening here is I'm drawing a solid color from like here to here, and then a little slice like this, using a texture which is, let's see, can I open this? It would be called white alpha.ping, apparently. All right, great. Can I just drag this here? Yes, but it doesn't do what I wanted. Let's try dragging it here? Not really. How about here? Not really. I don't even know what that did. It didn't look like it did anything. Okay, open with... This won't start a new instance of my image editor, will it? No, okay, perfect. So this is what this image is. This is 1 pixel. Actually, this is not all this image is. I need to decompose. Components, decompose. Here we go. RGBA to layers. Okay, great. So here's a decomposed representation of that image. Where's my layers? There's my layers. All right, so red channel looks like this. Red channel could be all white, or all red, all fully, you know. The alpha is like that. So there is, there are 2 white pixels. This one is full opacity. This one is full transparency. And there's a margin all the way around it. So what ends up getting drawn is... Boy, I'm doing a terrible job explaining this. Hopefully some of you will be able to follow it. Anyway, so right at the edge, the anti-aliased portion of this that gets drawn. So it's like there's a triangle here. Well, that's 2 triangles. Okay, there's a quad here. And then another little quad here, which is drawn with this texture, where the solid portion of the mountain is this pixel of the texture. The transparent portion is this. So it just sort of bleeds outward by 1. In doing that, and having textures set to linear filtering, I sort of get automatic, so this is texture anti-aliasing, is what I guess I would call it. I can take advantage of texture blending to create an anti-aliased edge. That has some complications. A thing that I had to do to get this all to work was to actually change from a non-premultiplied to premultiplied alpha model for the entire application, which wasn't all that much. I didn't actually have that much blending in there. If you're not familiar with premultiplied alpha, I'm going to make an attempt to explain it. Just give me like a few pixels to work with here. I don't know how well this is going to go. I haven't planned it out super well. Let's hope for not a disaster. Sure, okay. So an image consists of, generally each pixel of an image consists of 4 color components, or 3 if it doesn't have any alpha. So like FF0000 is going to be red. So FF is the red component, 00 for no green, 00 for no blue. You know, these are pretty familiar concepts. So 00FF00, 0000FF. So each 2 hex digits is one of the 3 non-alpha color components. So then there's this 4th component to a color. Can I not put this into, can I do like, if I say 7F, it truncates. Isn't there a way around this? Maybe there isn't. Okay. Well, so this particular application isn't going to show me the 4-component color picker. But anyway, so I have those things there, and the rest of this is transparent. Let's make this a little smaller just to be more manageable. So if I go back and decompose this again, decompose to RGBA, So here I have that image broken out into the 4 color channels. So red looks like that. Red has FF here and 0, 0 in all the other positions. The green layer looks like this. 0, 0, FF, 0, 0, 0, 0, etc. Blue looks like that, of course, 0, 0, 0, 0, FF. Alpha has FF, 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 and then 0, 0 here. So this is full transparency. So if in the alpha channel, I would put, say, 7F, 7F, 7F. Did I draw? No, I drew in red. Maybe. Okay, select alpha, draw there. There we go. So now this will be partial transparency. Let's also do it to the blue. So if I recompose this and go back to this image, my blue is now halfway transparent, as you can see, and the previously just full transparency pixel is now half transparency black. So it's black just because the other 2 color components in it were black. That was just the default that my image editor gave me when I created the layer. Now what's interesting here is I can, if I want to, I could like, what? Why didn't you draw? Red. Okay, so show red. Draw. I could fill the entire red channel with that and recompose. And it looks the same, but this is now transparent white instead of transparent black. There is a difference. So going back to what I was saying about how I'm blending this texture on the mountains. So I'm drawing the, I want my screenshots. My screenshot is here. So like this is the fully opaque version, you know, this is just tinted this color, you know, the white turns into that sort of greenish cyanish color. And transparent turns into transparent, ideally. If you have non-premultiplied alpha though, when that gets smeared over, as it does when it's blended, let's imagine, why didn't that go away? Oh, I pressed the wrong key, that's why. So, you know, on an edge where the pixel boundary falls perfectly between 2 spots, let's do this vertically because that's the way the mountain's oriented. You know, you would have full opacity here, full transparency here. That's what you would see right at the peak. So full opacity, oh, it's not full opacity. Well, close enough. Full transparency. Now, in the in-between states, what you get is sort of a smear. You know, you have a full opacity pixel somewhere in there. Then somewhere in the middle, you get a half opacity thing. Let's see, how can I draw this? Can I do like eraser with partial opacity? Sure. Pixel. There we go. All right. So you get kind of this smear. It's interpolating between the opaque white here and the transparent white here. That's all well and good, but it could be transparent white, it could be transparent black, and each color component is interpolated individually. So if you have FF, 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 FF here, full opacity white, here in this texture, and you have 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 here, full transparency black, what you get in the middle is 7F, 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 7F. That's half transparency gray, not half transparency white. So what you end up with is something that is darker than you actually want. Boy, yeah, that gray is blending right into that. Let's make this some chromatic color, like red. No, let's choose something less gaudy. Let's say a neutralish blue, sure. And actually, show that. There we go. Yeah, so you can see this is totally not blending from white to transparent gracefully. It's going through something that is darker than the background. because of that individual color component blending, you get 7F, 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 instead of what you really want is FF, 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 7F. So just blend the alpha, basically. There are a few different ways to fix that. So one of the ways is to have this be transparent white instead of transparent black. But you can categorically solve... That's not always practical. You can't always have your textures bleed outward from their transparent edges. I don't know. There's just a bunch of problems with that approach. So this is what it looks like with non-premultiplied alpha. Premultiplied alpha is just a different way of representing colors so that 7F, 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 7F actually means transparent white. Premultiplied meaning you multiply, you consider each of the red, green, and blue components to be already multiplied by alpha before adding them together. It's just a different way of treating the numbers, basically. So 3F, 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 7F would be the equivalent of what you see here under premultiplied alpha. So what's cool about that is it means you can blend full opacity white, for example, with anything at full transparency, and it's the same, because anything at full transparency is just 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. There's no legal way to represent color that is fully transparent. And the math just sort of works out so that what you get is the thing you actually want here, a nice smooth blend between the two colors. Anyway, so I switched my thing from non-premultiplied to premultiplied alpha to get rid of black fringes that were showing up all up on here. I don't have a screenshot or a way to show it easily, but anyway, so that's the technical explanation of why that sort of thing would happen. Just because it's blending between two colors that in the transparent state, the color components come through the wrong way. Anyway, so that is why you might want premultiplied alpha for something like this. So yeah, lots of weird little fiddly technical stuff like that going on. Wonder if I should change the hitbox of this so that if you go over the transparent part of it, it doesn't highlight. Probably not. It's probably better to have this just act rectangular. I'm going to leave it, even though I could make the hit test acknowledge that. I'm not going to. Okay, yeah, so anyway, figuring out what to do with my new map screen. I've been for a while now saying that these need to be hierarchical in some way. I think I've figured out how to represent the hierarchy, at least in the data structure. So if I went to my test scenario here, which is indeed in resources, yes, test scenario.json. I've added some new things here. Encounter 1 has the prerequisites of nothing. Encounter 2 has the prerequisite of the encounter 1. So under this data structure, before you can attempt encounter 2, you have to solve encounter 1. So each thing just has lists the things which must be clear for it to be unlocked. Encounter 3 is unlocked by encounter 2, and encounter 4 is unlocked by encounter 2. So when you would start up this test scenario, you would only be able to do this, and maybe these if I didn't lock them behind it. Then you clear this opens. Then you clear this, these two open, and you can attempt either one. Challenges can also have their own prerequisites. Puzzles can also have their own prerequisites. All I have for that right now is the data model. You know, this is in my scenario files and is parsed. But in some way I need to turn that into an actual hierarchical view here. And I don't yet know what that's going to look like, so it's going to be a while for me to figure it out, I guess. But yeah, I want some sort of friendlier map screen here that shows you like where you are, what you've cleared, where you can go. I'll probably also have a list view that looks something like this old one looked, just so you can get at it that way if you don't want to navigate the spatial layout. But, you know, imagine something like a Baba Is You or a Snakebird or a puzzle game like that, where you're moving around on a little map. You know, you clear a puzzle, you see like, oh, hey, this one next to it's opened, this one next to it's opened. I can go here, I can go here, I can do whatever. That's kind of the general category of thing I'm thinking about, but it probably won't end up looking much like one of those things. So yeah, just figuring out what needs to be done for that. So that's the state of what's going on here. Gonna keep working away at it, and I'll report back when I have more to say about it.